shit.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past.
And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're with my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you are behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
All right, y'all, we're here. We're live. You're watching Buster Unmasked pop-up event. Did not expect to do this when I woke up this morning, but here we are. I got a full panel with me, but before I introduce these guys, you know I got to plug September 14th, Sunday at 8 p.m., the Dirty Dozens Pro Wrestling Roast Battles. So let's do this, and then we'll get on topic.
You already know who it is. We be bustin'. It's Big Bustin', baby. And I got some Dirty Dozens for y'all. We be bustin'. Wrestling roast battle. Y'all ain't ready for this. Y'all ain't ready. We be bustin'. Here we go. Who be bustin'? We be bustin' like Blassie, like William Perry. We hustlin'. Big in these streets like Big Buster. You a sucker like Lou Brother, who trusted? We be bustin'. Lick off shots, shouldn't get clocked. Knick knack, patty whack, give a dog a bone. Dirty Dozens with my bros. Step into the zone, wrestling roast battle, leave that alone. We be bustin'. We be bustin'. We be bustin'. We be bustin'. We be bustin'.
All right, y'all, that's for you, Mark. Don't miss Sunday, September 14th, 8 p.m. It's going to be off the charts. These dudes are going to get on the microphone and shred each other, and somebody's going to win. Two people, matter of fact, is going to walk away $50 richer. But that's not what we're here to do tonight. Look, I have to admit, I feel like our subject tonight, man, this thing with Roger Jackson and Syko Stu is the hottest topic, not only in professional wrestling. I feel like it's taken over the media, period. It's one of the hottest topics out there, and that's what we're here to discuss. I'm going to introduce my guest right now. First off, right here beside me, I got Mark Manley, the owner of American Hostile Championship Wrestling, the man behind the Universal Mark, there I go. I'm screwing it up already. The Unified Wrestling Alliance. I say that shit all the time, man. How do I screw that up? Next to him, we got the Unified Wrestling Alliance World Heavyweight Champion, the best in the South, Bull Whip Ballard. Down here, right below me, look, we got referee, we got wrestler, we got commentator, 2 count. Alan Lentz is with us. Beside him, everybody knows this guy. part of Team FAFO, Big Daddy Storm. And next to him, we got the owner of APW, All Pro Wrestling out of Marianna, Arkansas, Ricky Kennedy. Guys, are you ready for this show?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
So look, let me ask you guys this. We've all seen the footage, and I've got some of it. I hope we don't get copywritten on it. And we're going to watch some of it. But before we even get into it, I want to get your guys' perspective on what went on here. Mark, let's just start with you, and we'll go across and work our way down the aisle. Talk to me about this thing with Rampage Jackson's son and this professional wrestler, Syko Stu, man.
Well, I'm a little upset with the promoter. I mean, WWE brings these celebrities in, and now everybody's trying to piggyback off that, man. And that's where it's got to start at, man. Like Johnny said earlier, you're putting untrained people in the ring, and him being an MMA fighter, and he can use that to his best of his ability. He damn sure did, man. So you got to watch who you bring in and who you can work with,
Right. Bullwhip, give us your take on the situation, man.
I'm with Mark. I don't really feel like he's untrained. He's trained to be a competitive sportsman. Johnny Dotson said last night, that he's trained not to stop until the referee pulls him off. Well, that's not necessarily the case. He's trained to go from bell to bell, just like we are. And I don't think you got to be a damn rocket scientist to figure out what a receipt means.
Right.
Several on that one.
So, I mean, do I think he should have been in there to get from the get-go? No. Just because of what I've seen that happened beforehand with the beer can and all that. But, I mean, that dude was going to do that to somebody else just as easy as he was going to do it to a wrestler. So,
Okay,
I just feel like he wanted the name of whooping the wrestler's ass. That's what I think.
Here's my thought on that, Bullwhip. You're right. These guys are taught, don't stop till the referee pulls you off. But they're also taught to know when someone's knocked out completely. And how many times do we see in the UFC and other combat sports situations where guys know their opponent's knocked out and they pull back, they back off?
Yeah.
So I feel like, look, if he was in an MMA cage, I feel like he did the right thing. I feel like he should have kept on till the referee pulled him off. But this is pro wrestling. Look, you don't have to be a fucking rocket scientist to know it's a work. You don't have to be trained in pro wrestling to understand it's a work, and I feel like that's where he went over the top.
Well,
Alan,
he was a sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought, Bullwhip.
He was a guest there at the show. One of the wrestlers invited him. They brought him straight to the back. Of course, he is of notoriety. It's not like he's a nobody. His daddy's Rampage Jackson. He's not a big celebrity, but people that know his daddy or fans of his daddy know who he is. They invited him to the back. Big boy with the beard. Syko. What's his name?
Stu. Syko Stu.
Stu stands up. They go back and forth a little bit. He whacks him with a beer can. There was a little bit of awkwardness there. Rampage Jr. bows up. He does the whole thing, and he starts taking his stuff off, laying it down. Two guys got between them. They told Syko, hey, this dude's not a worker. He's not one of us. He's not here to do all that. Chill out. That guy apologized to him and shook his hand. Yeah, after a few minutes, when they told the boy at first, when they tried to kill it right there and them shake hands and everything, he wouldn't shake his hand. And then somebody mentioned, well, we'll figure something out where you can go in and get your receipt. Oh, now he went over there and he shakes his hand. That's all on video.
Right.
That's all on video. They apologized to each other, and it was okay. That dude went in there and beat the hell out of that guy for no other reason than spot.
Alan?
That's the end of the argument.
Give us your take on the situation, man, before we really get into this stuff.
Yeah, I tend to agree with a lot that Mark and Bullwhip said. I mean, you watch the early videos from Backstage whenever they're first going at it, and Stu hits him with the can, and he doesn't sell it, he doesn't move, he doesn't anything. Like, he doesn't acknowledge the fact that he just got hit. And then you watch the other videos, and while he's sitting there at ringside, he's talking about what he's about to do, and saying he's not going to stop, and he's going to get as many licks in as he can until somebody stops him. And then you got the promoter backstage telling him to lay it in on him and get his receipt. And he asked him, he said, "You know what that means, right?" He said, "Yeah." And then the end result is what it is, and you got a bunch of incompetent people in the ring that don't understand what you're supposed to do when something happens like that, and either they don't understand or they were scared.
Well,
But either way, it
with
was
the beer
wrong.
can, he asked the boy, was he not going to sell it?
That's right. He did ask
Yeah.
him that.
And that's
And
when
here's
they
the
got in
thing.
between. He's like, he ain't here for that. He ain't here for that. He's not one of us. He's not a wrestler.
We don't
Yeah.
really know what happened before then, though, because there's no footage of that.
Right.
I can't believe this man just picked up a fucking beer can and decided I'm going to hit this motherfucker over the head. I just thought,
Exactly.
you're not going
Well,
to
that goes back, and I'm going to say this, and I'm just going to put this out there, and I want all of y'all, I've never said anything about this, but I come into this business when I was 17 years old. I think I started training somewhere roughly around 16. I had my first match when I was 17. I like to play rough. I like to have fun, but if I don't know you, like I'm more reserved. I'm not going to come up and touch you. I don't want you coming up touching me. We can be physical in the wrestling ring. That's completely different. I may roughhouse with my brother, but I'm not going to go up and roughhouse with Alan. I'm not going to go up and roughhouse with Ricky, and vice versa. I don't want them coming up jacking with me. I don't want people walking by hitting me in the nuts, messing with my butt. I don't like none of that. I don't like none of that crap. And I think what it boils down to is it was a new guy. He's probably got an old school mentality as far as wrestling goes. He liked to be a little rough. Ever since I was 17 years old, I'd be sitting in the locker room minding my own business over there playing on my phone or listening to somebody talk. And there's always some grown-ass man acting like a dumbass want to walk by and give you the old and want you to sell it. You sitting there. Why don't you act like a grown-ass man? Keep your hands to yourself till we get out there in the ring. There ain't no sense in none of that. I'll be sitting here talking to Ricky, sitting here talking to Mark, Buster, whoever the deal is, and a bunch of wrestlers come to mind that do this crap. They come by and they want to act like they want you to sell it. Why don't you sit down, play on your phone, and stay in your lane and just chill out?
Save that
But a
shit
bunch
for
of guys
the ring.
can't do that. They can't sit there and keep their hands to themselves. And that's another reason. And I'm not using that to justify what dude did, but you mess with the wrong one, it'll come back on you.
Yeah, save that shit for the ring. I've always felt like that, man. If I know you well and we're buddies, I don't mind you fucking with me. I might fuck with you. But somebody I do not know, I'm not going to touch. I'm definitely not going to bust a beer can on their head. Whether the beer can was already opened and it was an easy shot, I don't care. If I don't know you, I'm not going to do that. Storm, give us your take on the situation, dude.
Well, the whole entire evening was a shit show. From an organization that's supposed to be had a WWE ID program and run by a quote-unquote legend, right? By a guy who knows how this business should be run. So from the very first jump when you had Syko Stu hitting him with that beer can, just like Bullet was talking about, to the apology, to you've also got your book and them talking about get your receipt into somebody who has no idea. And then he's sitting at ringside for however long getting hyped up live on Kick, streaming the whole time with this audience, hyping this dude up the entire time, shit talking him to a young man. What do you think that does to their psyche?
Yeah.
Of course he's going to go in there because he's tired of getting called a pussy and whatever else on his Kick. Oh, I bet you won't lose. One of the quotes on Kick was that if you'll go and knock him out, I'll subscribe. And dude said, bet.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That is crazy. And here's something. This is from my experience. It's easy, especially a new guy in the wrestling business. It don't take much to hype them up, especially a guy who comes from a whole different genre of combat sports. I mean, let's be honest. He's young. He's easily manipulated as far as, look, even in the wrestling business, you don't know how many times my brother, as a work, hyped me up to the point where I'm in the ring roughing motherfuckers up. And then it hits me. I'm like, what the fuck? He's out there hyping me up. It happens, dude. And the younger you are and the more immature you are, the easier it is for that to happen.
Especially when we're streaming for likes. We want people's attention and so bad. And nobody wants to be called a pussy, a punk, or whatever else it is. And when you have to sit in your seat and you're streaming live to a huge audience, and every one of them are just bitching you and dogging you, you ain't going to do nothing. You know how it is when you talk to your boys, right? Oh, you ain't going to do nothing. You just going to take that? You gonna take that? That's what you gonna do? Oh, you a punk. You a pussy. What you gonna do? And he's sitting there reading this the entire time. How much hype and worked up do you think that kid's getting? Everybody from the beginning of that to the end of that moment right there, all fucked up. You know, the one guy who didn't fuck up, the one who went in there and saved Syko, Stu's life.
And I want to talk about him in a little bit, too. We're definitely going to touch on that guy. I made a point in the video I've got to make sure that was in there because he's the guy. He is the guy. He's the hero of that whole situation.
That's right.
You didn't have one of the wrestlers pin Syko's Stu when he was laying down there.
Yep.
Match. While everybody else was trying to keep him alive. What the fuck?
Ricky Kennedy, man. Promoter, wrestler, trained by Bill Dundee. Talk to me about it. Give us your take on the situation, man.
And I actually think the dude would have left it alone after the handshake if he wasn't getting hyped up in the back. The guy with the cowboy hat, is that the promoter, I'm assuming?
That was the
booker.
In.
Yeah, so that's the guy that caused all of this in my eyes. Like, he's the one that manipulated that kid face to face, not over the phone, not over nothing. He manipulated that kid over the, face to face. He hyped that kid up to go do that. Plain and simple. I mean, it was lay it in. Do you know what that means? Yes.
As soon as they walked in that door right there, and that door shut behind them, he started on him.
Absolutely. And
Rip
to me, that guy right there is as responsible for his actions as what the Jackson kid did in the ring to the other guy.
Right.
Now, do I think the kid was provoked with the beer can? Absolutely. You could see it on his face. There's some people you can't joke with, like Bullwhip said, like that.
Yeah.
I'm a joking person. I talk trash to everybody I see, high five, bump fist. I'm never going to hit somebody upside the head with a beer can just playing. That is stupid. You don't do that.
Especially don't know him.
Right.
Hey, I told Mark and Bullwhip, we were the first three to get on, waiting on you guys. And I told them, I said, look, even as a worker, you don't know me, I don't know you. That dude would have hit me in the head with that beer can. There's a good chance I'd have decked his ass right there. Would have never made it to the ring. We'd have figured it out right there in the back because, I agree with Bullwhip on that. Keep your fucking hands to yourself until you're out in front of the fans and you're in the ring where you're supposed to put your hands on each other. Right. You cross that line, and look, we got a ton of comments, but Dave Ruby, I believe this is probably the most important comment. Don't bring any guests straight to the locker room. Don't care who the fuck they are. That, to me, was the first thing I thought. Why is this fucking dude in the back with the guys? I don't care who he is, even if it had been Rampage Jackson, unless Rikishi was there and brought him back, I wouldn't have wanted him in the back in the dressing room. And we know Rampage, he's dabbled in wrestling some, so let's talk about that. I feel like that is the first mistake of this whole thing, bringing this guy into the back in the dressing room. In the old days, that would have never happened. He'd have never made it into the dressing room, whether it was outside or through a door somewhere. There would have been somebody that stopped him.
Yeah, that happens in too many other shows, too. I mean, that's not the only one you see it at, man. Your dressing room needs to be for your group, so to speak. Nobody else. Nobody outside. Workers, referees, announcers. That's it.
Right. Look, we got Matthew Wade with us. It's one of my competitors. His shit's so long, he blocked most of y'all out. He says, as a former MMA competitor in my early 20s, I know when a man's had enough in a shoot fight. I know when to stop. Roger should know the same thing because he is at a higher level than I ever was. The promoter should have never had an untrained man in there to begin with, but most of all, we are supposed to be brothers. What kind of brother is going to tell a man to hurt you like that, like they did Stu? And I agree with Matthew. That's what we talked about in the opening after Bullwhip said his thing. How many times these guys are trained to keep going till the referee stops, but over and over we see guys get knocked out 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the cage or wherever. And guys walk off. When they know they're knocked out, they stop most of the time. Hector Lombard? No, because that's the kind of fighter he is. And there's a couple of more out there that are like that. But overall, these mixed martial artists, man, they're trained to know when somebody's out. It's as simple as that.
Well, when he makes the comment that he's not going to stop until someone pulls him off, that's premeditation.
100%.
Yeah.
So
If this goes in front of a judge, dude is screwed. And I would just about go out on a limb and say if this goes to trial or something, he's screwed, and so was the Andre guy.
Who was the other guy? Who was the other guy that was outside and says, we're just working. Everything's a work, right, brother?
He kept calling everybody oos. He does the Samoan thing. I don't know who he was, but yeah.
That dude right there,
he
he lied to the other guy, too, and hyped this kid up as well.
Yes, I agree with that 100%. And here's the thing. This thing's already gotten bigger than just these two guys and this company. This company was an ID company for the WWE, and from what I read a little while ago, WWE has cut ties with them already. Now, look, it's Rikishi's company, and we know how wrestling is, so the cutting ties with them could just be a political thing, and when everything dies down, they'll probably get their ID deal back. But the fact of the matter is, it's not a good look for WWE to even have to pull the deal from them.
Well, they saw failure all the way across the board.
He's going to have to get a whole new locker room.
Yeah. They saw failure except for one human being.
That's right.
They saw failure.
And
as a whole, it don't look good on all of us.
Stu didn't have no brothers in that locker room, but that one guy. And that's it, man. That referee guy, somebody needs to whoop his ass, too, because he did damn sure.
Here's something I told 2 Count today. I honestly think there's a vendetta against the Stu guy from some of them guys back there to allow
Seems
that
like
to hype other kids up to do what they did to him. Because they didn't have the balls to jump on the dude, but they wanted this kid to do it.
I agree.
Well, they were all scared. You could tell that the only one that had any balls was the dude who come and snatched him off the guy. The dude who come in and snatched him off, and we're definitely going to touch on him because I believe he's the hero of the show. But look, Philly Mike OG says, breaking news at 6:40 p.m. in Irving, California, Roger Jackson was arrested on aggravated assault and attempted murder. He is facing multiple felonies and has been released on bond. So now the law's involved in it. So let's see.
So I don't know if y'all saw this or not, but Rampage was live on Kick the same time that Raja was Saturday night, and at some point I don't know for certain if it was in that stream or if it was in a previous one, but Rampage has said that he had set money aside because he knew that one day that kid would be put in jail, and he would need bail money for him.
I seen the same thing. He said I put up college money for a couple of my kids and bail money for the other one, man. So
and that's what I'm going to do in court. Pull that quote.
Right.
So, I mean, obviously there's something going on there. And I mean.
That's some character witness right there, Storm.
It astounds me. Here, maybe Johnny will get lucky and he gets off in time to jump in. But I agree with Johnny 100% in the fact that, first of all, the dude never should have been there. Never, ever. Look, if they wanted him to be a VIP, bring him in, give him a VIP setup out to the ring. Don't bring him in the back and bring him in the inside of the business. Wow. That's the first mistake.
But it's become mainstream to do that.
It's everywhere, dude. It's everywhere.
How convenient was it, though, that they had a special guest while Rikishi's in Memphis?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they knew that's about the only time they're going to get away with it.
Right. Yep. That's something else to think about. Whether that's the true part or not. Rikishi's in Memphis, and all of a sudden y'all got a guest. No, right. The guest should be there. If I got a guest coming into one of my shows, it's not going to be when I'm not there. You know what I mean?
It needs to be with you.
That's my responsibility.
Look, Titanic's chimed in. He says, Roger was still messed up with a concussion. At the beginning of the stream, Roger stated that he was still messed up and has been throwing up all day.
Shouldn't have never been there then. Should have been
there. That's all fine and good. That's all fine and good, but you won't ever make me think that he's had so many concussions he's got CTE.
Right.
Hey, them concussions wasn't bothering him. He was swinging them damn punches. And look,
no.
The first 2 or 3, if it would have ended there, I'd have been cool with. I would have been cool with. I mean, might have been excessive, but you're sticking a green guy in a wrestling ring who really don't know what it's all about. So shit like that happens when you bring outsiders to the inside and you
Like
don't
those
train them.
knockout videos, though.
He was
This is
out
just
when
like
he hit
those
the
damn
ground.
knockout videos.
Yeah,
You know those
and,
knockout videos where they hit them from behind? Just walk up and hit them from behind, and then it's like, oh, I didn't whoop that guy. You didn't whoop a guy. You didn't do nothing. You whooped somebody who gave their body to you and just left you open. You didn't fight nobody. He didn't whoop Syko in a fight.
Right.
Syko Stu gave him his body. They were convinced this was going to be fine. The other guys had to lay it the fuck in there, and he got knocked out and almost lost his life fucking because of it. From beginning to end, total, complete shit show. Everybody had fault in this.
Should never been a punch thrown because, like Bullwhip said, he was out from the get go, man. Once
Even
his head
if he hit
that
the dude
canvas,
once,
he was out.
even if he hit the dude once, okay, like Buster said, I can get with it. You pissed off, whatever. You're an MMA fighter, you black out, you pop him 2 or 3 times. But when you get to 5, 6, 10, 14, he hit the guy in the face 22 times, knocked out all of his teeth, broke bones. That's way past getting your point across. That's something else.
Yep.
And he didn't have no intention of letting the guy go because he told him on the live stream, he said, when I get in here, I'm going to hit this guy as many times as I can do. You watch.
And that's something that really got me too. That right there proves intent in my eyes. That proves that he had intent on what he was doing and he knew what he was doing because, I mean, look, how many, has anybody really counted them? People saying 20 shots. Man, some of these shots, now there was a couple of them that half-ass missed, but man, all of these shots, here's the thing too, that man's head, he was knocked out, his head was solidly on the canvas. It wasn't like he was able to lift it up and get hit and give yourself
He wasn't defending himself. There wasn't none of this. Dude was laying there wide open.
Look, that's because when his head went back and he knocked his own ass out over that, because that's happened to me at that show in Missouri. And I can tell you from experience, once you hit and everything goes black, you're not there. And it was only seconds before that first punch came and landed. He didn't know shit from the time he got slammed till the time he woke his ass up in that hospital.
Yeah, I believe he was completely out. I don't even think he was aware of any of the punches until he woke up in the hospital. He was completely out.
He never moved. From the time he got down to the time dude got off of him, he never touched his face, none of that. There was blood all over Rampage's shirt. I had some people, there's been a couple idiots get on there and say, oh, it's a work. You're an idiot if you think that's a work. You're an idiot.
Absolutely.
Well, there's a lot of those running around online today.
Yeah.
Tons of that crap.
Well, I mean,
it went on way too long. That after, like y'all said, he was knocked out when he got slammed. As soon as his head hit that mat on the slam, he was out. And then once those first 2 punches landed, like as the referee should have jumped in and tackled him.
The referee and that little dude that was standing behind him that come up and was like,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like what does that do?
I'm not, look, I ain't never won no mixed martial arts bout in my life. Let me tell you right now, I'd have clicked that boy. I'd have put him in a headlock so quick his eyeballs bugged out. He'd still be walking around like a pug nose today and my eyeballs by hanging out of his head.
I would have gave him a swift kick in the fucking face.
I can't get my
down there down the guys like
no, the referee, he was doing the regular work referee, not even a real referee. He just flinging his hands around, didn't even try to get involved. He needs to be the first motherfucker that gets his ass kicked because of that.
That's because there's no training. That's because there's no training. They don't train the guys to be a referee. They train them to freaking be a pro wrestling referee. There's no legitimacy anymore. It's too far. It's few and far between.
Oh, you could see how many guys have never been in a fight at all, never been in any kind of altercation because they're just like,
looking around like deer in headlights, don't know what to do.
Oh no, they're shitting on themselves. And then a couple of guys to get in there and one big motherfucker to say no, this is how you take care of this shit, dude. It's ridiculous.
I give it to dude. Dude was on him quick. He was giving that dude the business, and he never tried to hurt the guy. He said he got bit 2 or 3 times. I figured that dude with the knuckleball face paint baseball deal he had going on. I figured that's the dude that was nibbling on him a little bit. But that big dude, I never seen no punches thrown from nobody. He did what he's supposed to do. He come in, he wrapped the boy up, and I forget his name. I call him Rampage. Roger grabbed his legs and was going to try to wrestle with him.
Oh,
But big
stop
dude
that
just
shit.
just held him. He wouldn't let him take him down. That's what he was supposed to do. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, did you see the way he backed him in the corner, but he tied his arms up? The
yeah.
big dude who broke it up, I don't know what he's been trained in, but he's had some little bit of training in combat sports because he knew what to do to neutralize the situation. And here's something else that got me. After he got him neutralized, okay, Raja, once he got his arms loose, they still had him in the corner almost like a normal wrestling pull apart. Why wasn't he throwing punches then? What was the deal on that? Why was he not hitting these other guys?
Probably because he didn't want none of that, Buster. Come on, there's 8 of them there. Pick your battles. I don't care who you are. There's always a bigger fish, especially when there's multiple bigger fish.
Ricky Kennedy, if you was refereeing that match, what would you have done? What would your reaction would have been?
It would have looked like a Braun Breaker hitting a spear on a dude. I would have clipped him right here in the middle of his chest, straight forward, and he'd have went back through them ropes.
At the same time, though,
100%,
Buster, it
not
is kind of
roll up
hard to
either.
say, hey, this is what I'd have done if I'd been in this situation, because you know what? We ain't never been in that situation. But I guarantee one thing, most of the guys in the UWA locker rooms would have probably put up a better fight than half their guys did.
Well, here's what gets me. Even when I broke in the business, 91, if a guy hit the ring and the wrestlers in the ring wasn't handling him, every motherfucker would have hit the ring and beat the shit out of this dude. Here's the thing. As bad as Roger is, as tough as he is, he's a big MMA fighter. You got to create distance to be able to fight. Man, guys would have swarmed him. He had guys kicking him, hitting him, fish hooking him, gouging at his eyes. That would not would have stood. He would have left there with an ass whooping if it had been 35 years ago. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, that's what they were trying to do anyway. He said he got bit 2 or 3 times. Now, of course, there wasn't no blood. It wasn't like he bit an ear off or anything. But I mean, they were trying to keep him arms where he couldn't swing and hit nobody else. But like you said though, I'm surprised there wasn't 2 or 3 of them tagging him in the back of the head.
And Cordell's got a good. He's like, I wonder what Rikishi had to say about that. Let me ask you guys this: do you think this would have went down if Rikishi would have been there?
No.
Probably not. Probably not.
No, that's just
if he'd have seen that guy get as mad as he did about that beer can, he probably would have never let him go to the ring.
Nope.
Would the stew guy have even hit the guy with the beer can if Rikishi would have been there? Here's
Was
the
it?
thing.
I don't know. They say it was a beer can. It wasn't like his video camera zoomed in and said, "Hey, this is a Coors Light." But if whatever can they hit him with, the dude, if Rikishi was there probably wouldn't have been no drinking behind the scenes.
Here's my thought. It looks like a situation when the cat's away, the mice play. And I feel like that's what was going on. The big dog wasn't there overseeing everything, and the guys he left in charge, man. If I was Rikishi, man, those 2 guys, the Samoan guy and the dude in the hat, they'd be gone so fucking fast. They'd have been gone before I even got back. I'd have had them motherfuckers
They
fired.
probably are. They probably are. All them guys are going to have to go testify. They're going to have to go give their testimony before. I don't know if they'll do it behind closed doors or if they have to sit on a stand. But I've seen this kind of stuff go down all the time. Not in the pro wrestling world, but I take inmates to court all week long. I work for a correctional office, and I drive inmates around the state of Mississippi all day long, all week long. I've sat in on no telling how many trials, start to finish, for murder, for rape, for everything else. Everybody that was involved, direct contact with that guy that night, will have to get on the stand and tell what happened if they don't come to some sort of conclusion before it goes to a trial.
Look, JPJ is on here, man. He said, so my question, does this affect all of independent wrestling now? Are all of these athletic commissions looking at this? And yes, 100% I believe they are.
If it doesn't have anything to do with that, if the athletic commission don't care, if it has nothing to do with the athletic commission, it makes everybody look bad. Because we live in a time now where pro wrestling is not as, there's not as much money in pro wrestling as there was in like the 80s. Right. Unless you're in with the WWE, okay?
Only the top guys are making money.
Yes, and there's very few top guys, unlike back when it was regional. We're on the up, it's becoming cool again. But when you have a situation like this, it makes all of us look bad. It makes every promotion look bad. They thinking all that fake wrestling and this, that, and the other. It makes everybody from coast to coast look like shit, whether you was involved with it or not. It just most people that don't understand wrestling, that don't like wrestling, half of them people have some sort of vendetta against it. They just that's just the way it is. There's either a vendetta, it might not be called a vendetta, it might be a different word for it, but it's like a stigma about pro wrestling anyway. And when you have situations like this where stuff like this goes bad at a show and where people may have been involved or may not have been involved, that's even worse because the blurring the lines, them wrestlers trying to do that fake fighting stuff and it backfired on them. It just makes everybody look bad across the board. It doesn't help the pro wrestling stigma.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
I'll tell you, Buster, I got a meeting with the Carter County Sheriff's Department and Van Buren High School on Wednesday, and I already know this is going to come up, so I'm prepared for it. They never had wrestling at this high school, and it's a benefit. So, it's going to affect all of us, man. The wrestling business got a big black eye, man, and I honestly believe that we're going to suffer.
Well, let me ask you three promoters. Mark, you're a promoter. Ricky, you're a promoter. Storm, you're a promoter. Let me ask you guys point blank. Do you think that we need the athletic commission back involved in professional wrestling? And here's the thing. Forget about this. Let's just lay it on the line. To stop some of these things we see, like these way underage kids in the ring wrestling on shows, all the behind the scenes stuff. Do you think would you guys like to see the commission back?
No. Yes, I would. Yes, but
I have a commission, so
yeah, right.
I think the commission would help, but I mean, we don't make enough money to pay them.
What kind of commission are we talking about? Good old boy commission where you give me enough money and do any freaking thing you want?
Yeah.
Are we talking an actual commission that gives a shit and enforces the rules and says, no, we're going to be at every show. This is how you're going to comply with all the rules that we've set forth. And it's not about making money on the side to go out and take your honey.
That's the problem. The problem is it helps and hurts. It helps and hurts at the same time because there's no show within 150 miles of the Mid-South. We'll use Memphis, and then you go 3 hours outside of that. There's nobody that's drawing over 250, 300 people a show. They're just not. And the athletic commission wants to come in and charge you an arm and a leg just to open the doors. Some places it's a fee up front. Some places it's a fee at the end. It helps and hurts because to open the doors you got to make money. But that may just go to say not everybody needs to run a wrestling show. I guess too.
Here in Mississippi, we had a commission, and it got a little underhanded, and so they cut it out and said, you know what, wrestling is now this. We're going to consider it entertainment. And we're just going to stick to the regular athletic stuff that we have, track and field and sports and professional sports like NFL, baseball, all that good stuff. And that's it. And they wiped it out on our part. We still have an athletic commission. Wrestling is just not governed under anything anymore.
So look, JPJ, he's talking about the trickle-down effect. Up there, whatever. He's wondering, do you guys think that what happened there in California will affect the wrestling in Arkansas, the wrestling in Mississippi? Because Mississippi, when I was wrestling, it had one of the strictest commissions around at that time.
Yeah.
Mississippi used to be almost as bad as Missouri. And Arkansas, I'll be honest with you, when I was wrestling, I bought wrestler's license. But to be truthful with you, before they actually started showing up, most people ran under the radar. And the only time the commissioner did show up is if some other promoter or wrestler got mad at you and called them in on you.
That's right.
It's...
Ricky can address that Arkansas thing, I think.
Do you think it'll trickle down to Arkansas, Ricky?
No, I don't. I don't think it's going to trickle down to a lot of smaller places like where we're at here in Arkansas, over in Mississippi where Chad's at. But I do think what needs to happen is you should have to have blood tests, you should have to have a wrestling license, and you should have a promoter's license. Just those three alone right there. They ain't got to come take none of your money at the door, none of that. They're getting the money off the licenses, stuff like that.
Or
That will eliminate half of this crap that we're seeing out here in the wrestling scene. Some of these guys can't afford $30 gear, much less a $30 wrestling license.
True. So
Yeah. I think they should do background checks for licensing.
Well, the reason I say a blood test is, man, and I'm not gonna call no names nowhere.
Johnny, flip your phone, dude, so we get a full screen of you, man. There we go. Now we get to see that face, man.
Yeah,
So-
your head don't fit on the other one.
Hey,
Second now, me and you already got this.
So, Ricky, let's pick right back up with those blood tests because I know where you're going and I agree 100%. Explain it to everybody.
And this part of the state and another part of the state, there's a place that's running shows and they know for a fact the dude's got hepatitis and there's another guy with something else and this guy with something else, and they're just letting these guys run wild and they're bleeding all over the place. That should be corrected. That should be fixed right then with a blood test. You can't pass a blood test, you have no business wrestling in a wrestling ring.
Absolutely.
yeah, we go through that in Missouri, so
And,
you gotta
and you
do that.
should,
Yeah.
but the part of them showing up, like Mark, when they show up to you and they want so much money per ticket you sell, per person, whatever is in the building,
Right.
that's just basically robbing you blind, dude.
Oh, ain't no doubt about it.
If it was up to me and it was a commission, they said, hey man, you got to buy a $500 promoter license every year. Okay, fine, I'll pay you the $500 promoter license January the 1st. It expires December the 31st, and that's it. These promoters, half of these promoters, they can't afford $500 all year, much less at one time for a promoter's license. It would eliminate these mud shows that we're having.
You got a point.
Yeah, I agree with that 100% because that is an issue, man. Look, somebody said it earlier. I don't know if it was Bullwhip or who. Would it eliminate some of these shows that need to be eliminated? And yes, it would. And we actually need some of these shows gone. Some of these shows make the whole. Here's the thing: you can have 5 great promotions and 10 shitty ones, and the 10 shitty ones are gonna trickle over and make the 5 good ones look bad before it's over because
100%.
people's perception of wrestling is it's all the same. They don't see the difference. They believe it's pro wrestling. It's all the exact same shit. Johnny.
You put
Go ahead,
3
Ricky.
rotten apples next to a good apple, and watch how long it takes for that good apple to turn rotten like the other 3.
Johnny, I'm glad you got here with us, man. You the one that kind of started this whole fucking conversation. So talk to us about this situation. We got everybody else's take at the beginning of the Raja and Syko Stu situation. Give us your take on it once again, man.
The blame goes strictly on the boys and it goes strictly on the promoter. First of all, you don't bring untrained individuals into our world. He had no business in the locker room. If he wouldn't have been in the locker room, he never would have got hit with a can. That's number one. Number two, a promoter should have never told him to get in the ring and get his receipt back. And then you got the boys gassing him up, saying if anybody hit the ring, he gonna help him. All of that is wrong. Nothing about that situation was right. Now, here's the thing that I tried to explain to most people. In UFC, the referees are trained. I don't know if anybody watched the UFC like I watched the UFC. Some of those guys get so amped up to the referee has to knock them off because they don't know how to stop. Right? So in the professional wrestling world, that falls on the boys. And the reason why I say that, it had to be some backstage with what's his name, Syko Stu, for none of the boys to come to his rescue. Let that would have been Bullwhip. Let that would have been Ricky. Let that would have been Storm. Everybody would have came. So
I
for
agree with
nobody
that.
to come, it looked like it was set up for him to get whooped.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that too, Johnny. It
What
was
Mark said.
the whole thing was a weird situation, man. And I actually read that somewhere. I think I read it yesterday or today that there's a lot of guys that apparently there was a lot of guys in that dressing room that apparently didn't like the Syko Stu guy.
But think about it. What guy in their right mind that's a worker gonna see a guy in the locker room that don't know him, gonna grab a can and just go ahead and throw a working punch and hit him?
Right.
I know a few that act like that. We just talked about that earlier. Guys don't know how to keep their hands to themselves.
But that tells you Psycho Stu has done that many times before.
And, and nobody never did anything. God rest his soul, and we men are offensive. But Brian Christopher tried that with me one day. Him and Spellbinder, but it didn't end up well for him. Nobody came to help me. I helped myself.
I wasn't there.
But it's also in the back, Johnny. It wasn't out in the ring.
I would even say that. Oh, do y'all remember what happened? I know, Buster, you remember what happened with Brickhouse Brown and Jamie Dundee and Corinth?
Man, look, forget Corinth. I watched Jamie Dundee and Danny B get into it in
Martin, Tennessee. Yeah,
exactly.
I was there.
All over racial, Jamie just being Jamie, honestly. I'll be honest with you, half the shit comes out of Jamie's mouth, I don't even think he believed at the time. He just talked shit
but
that's what Jamie
here's
did.
the thing that was different with that. With all the racial stuff Jamie said, none of the Danny B said something back. True enough. But Danny B didn't have to handle it. Terry Golden handled it. You remember that?
I'll say this. Danny B shut him down his own self. Danny B was fed up because it ain't like this was the first time that it happened. I mean, because Jamie got a mouth on him, so these racial slurs popped out on a regular basis. And even Brickhouse a lot of times just look at you and just let it go because he's done. That's little Dundee. He ain't got no fucking sense anyway. Danny B, it had happened a few times, and Danny B was fed up. And Danny B, man, when he snapped off on him. If it wouldn't have been for Golden and the rest of the guys, there's no telling how that thing would have ended up.
Man, all I know is Terry Golden grabbed Jamie Dundee by the neck and threw him across the room.
Right.
I was like, I said, yep. Yep.
So let's get back to this Psycho Stu stuff. Are y'all ready to watch the footage and see what it looks like?
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Let me get everybody situated again. My shit's working half-ass. So let me hold on, guys. There we go. Now we're back to
equipment.
Man, it's been hell, dude. We are actually live on Facebook, but we're damn lucky we are, man. I had a hell of a time. So let me pull us up on the media thing and see if we can't get to watch some of this footage. How many of us are there? 7?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got us. Here we go. Now look, guys, this is about 6 minutes long. Actually, it's 4.5 because I cut some of it out of it because it had Bon Jovi and stuff that's gonna get me copywritten in the back. Let's check this footage out. Hopefully we can talk, but what I plan on doing is stopping it at certain points that we can address right then, and then moving on. So let's check this out.
This is all good. Because he always think it's a work.
Let me.
Press whooping my ass.
Yeah,
when I first started out.
Yeah, I remember that. He's my favorite wrestler because of that. He beat the fuck out of him. Yeah. Where's the real McKill at? Where's he at?
You don't need to worry about him. You need to be worried about Psycho Stu.
Psycho Stu?
What, you don't know me?
Hell no. Yeah.
Hey, I think that's a little.
Oh, you don't sell it?
Easy. He's not a fucking worker, bro. Calm down.
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
You're good.
What the fuck was that?
You don't sell it?
Dude, he's not a fucking worker, bro.
What the fuck was that? Hold on. I don't play that shit, bro.
All right, guys,
Not
let's
good.
pause right there for a second. First thing right there, this dude hits this dude that he don't even know, and that's what gets me. Here's my thought. Did this thing start out as a complete work, and then once it made it to the ring, the guy took it too far? That's what I wonder, because I'm not going to hit somebody in the head with a fake beer can or a beer can in a working manner or nothing that I do not know. I'm not even going to do that to one of you guys that I know. I don't play like that. Was this thing a work from the get-go?
No. If you roll it on, if it's the same video that I seen, right after this is done, That guy apologizes to him and says, "Hey, I thought we were working. I'm sorry, I didn't know." And then the big dude that's walking around like one of the Usos, hey Us, hey Us, hey Us, he's the guy that said, "We'll figure something out where he can run in your match and get his receipt."
But that's a funny thing too, right? If he says, "I thought we were working," well, why did you think we were working?
Exactly.
Right.
Thought we were working. Where did that come from?
Yeah, somebody
See
put
that?
it there.
That leads us to Johnny's
Was there more
theory
footage that we
that it
haven't
was a
seen that
setup.
was led up to a kick? I mean, what? We don't know anything other than where this video starts.
That's right.
We don't
There's
know
more
what
to
was
the
set up
story.
beforehand.
But when you listen to the conversation, and he said, "Hey man, he ain't a worker because he's taking off his stuff. He don't know what's going on.
But you
He's
saw
completely blindsided." But guess what? I just believe Stu probably one of these Aryan guys that's been around and been wrestling forever, think that he can do whatever he wants because he's been there a while.
Yep.
Somebody agree with me on that?
Yep.
Well, Stu is a big dude. You look at him, he's got the big chest and the big arms. I've run into people just like him. They come in the back, they want to do this crap, and they want to act like they're hitting you, and they want you to sell it. And if you don't sell it, that's being disrespectful. So I see where you're going with that, Johnny.
Yep.
Well, let me ask you guys this. We all seen the aftermath, which we're going to see this where the dude in the cowboy hat tells him, "Go get your receipt. If anything happens, I'll run in. I'll jump in it." So
exactly.
Here's my theory.
That's
I feel
AJ
like
Mono,
the
right?
dude in the cowboy hat, the Stu guy, man.
If it was a setup, it's because that
What
Stu
y'all's
guy
thought?
pissed one of them dudes off, and they wanted him to see him get his ass whooped because that wouldn't have been nobody. That wouldn't have happened with nobody else but Rampage Jackson's son.
And then another thing that y'all noticed when he was at the ringside, he was on the phone. He said, "Y'all, I can hit him for real." They was like, "Yeah, you can hit him for real." He says, "Oh, I can really hit him for real." And
Yeah,
it
he
was
has
like,
said 2 or 3 times.
"Yes,
And the dude in the cowboy hat tells him, he says, "F his shit up." When you hit him,
yep."
they tell. I don't know if this video is going to show all that, but when he presses play, if it shows him go inside the building,
So my
that dude in the
question,
hat boy out there, he's a snake, man.
but my question would be, that from my understanding, the guy in the cowboy hat is the booker and the promoter.
He's a stand-in booker and promoter. Rikishi running that show. He just stand in for Rikishi because
So
Rikishi wasn't there.
imagine, look at, and I'm trying to play the devil's advocate. You got a guy that don't know nothing,
Johnny,
and you got the
hold on.
stand-in promoter.
Johnny, pull your phone up just a little so we can get your whole face, man. There you go.
Yeah.
So we can see what's going on
Yeah,
with
big
you.
ass forehead.
We only getting from the eyebrows down, man.
So what I'm saying is, imagine a guy that don't know nothing about the business, and the guy that's standing in as the promoter and the booker tell you to go in there and lay it in and fuck his shit up, and then he goes out there and he's gonna do what he's telling him to do.
Then he calls him on the phone after it's all over and says, "Hey, man, you didn't have to carry it that far."
But I did what you said.
He knew where it was going to go, though.
Yeah.
He had to know where that was going to
He's
go.
called him on the phone to cover his ass.
Well, they done said them two right there train together. Them
Yeah.
two right there do the MMA training together. They train at the same dojo. Rampage and Cowboy Killer there.
So Cowboy Killer's the one who invited him.
It's Rampage Jackson's son. If anybody was going to be a ticking time bomb, it'd be him.
See, but this is my problem, and I say again, and a lot of people got pissed at me because I said it earlier. We have to stop using celebrities to try to get a pop, to try to get a fan base when they haven't been trained. I was so mad with the Travis Scott situation and Cody Rhodes. He punched him in the face, swelled his face up an eye, all because you put an untrained person in there. There was nothing you can do because it was on live TV. If it was me, if I was Cody Rhodes, I would have jumped up and I would have gave him what for.
Hey, I'd have blown that whole fucking match, man. It'd have been over. The whole angle, because I'd have hopped up in a second, man.
You're going to bust TV.
And this is WWE. How did they not know?
All right,
not
guys.
To put somebody out there and let him throw a punch.
He slapped him. He slapped him real
I
hard.
don't think nobody.
But look, guys, they put Jelly Roll in the ring too.
I'll be honest with you.
You gotta quit doing it. Just like Johnny says.
I agree. Logan Paul trains to do this shit.
Yeah,
Like
he's
he's
doing a great
committed.
job.
He's trained. He's a worker.
Okay. Now, this is what I told somebody else, but they said they hate Logan Paul. Let me say this right now. Logan Paul is one of the few people I've seen catch on as fast as he has.
That's a fact.
But you got to think about it. He's a multi-millionaire. So he's at home. All he got is a ring at the house. And he got personal trainers coming there every day to work with him.
But he's still putting in the work.
Yeah, but don't discredit the fact he is one hell of a fucking athlete, man. You cannot discredit that. I don't care who you are, how much money you got. You can have 35 rings and 45 of the best personal trainers. If you do not have that athletic ability, it's not going to work. Logan Paul is the main event waiting to happen. He is the guy that will be the WWE World Champion and carry that belt for a while.
Well, he's leaned into the hate. And that's what you got to do when people don't like you. Lean into it. Stop whining about it. Just lean into it.
Unless you're getting bad, he's like
right,
the
guys,
King
y'all
Superstar.
No, you lean into it too, buddy. You stir the pot more than anybody.
All right, guys, I'm gonna hit play on this, and let's take it a little bit further and see a little more of this.
No, I will fuck him
We're
up,
good.
bro.
I know you will.
No.
We're good. We're good.
I will
Sorry
fuck
about
him
that.
up, bro.
I know you will.
I don't play that shit.
Sorry about that, dude.
No, I will fuck him up, bro.
I know you will. So I got you.
I do not play that shit at all.
Nah, I got you. You good.
I don't know what's up with the
Fix that.
volume, guys.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Gracie. Sawadee. Good, dude.
Nah, fuck that, dude.
No, so still poquito. Cámara el pies. I don't know why. Sorry about that, dude. He always thinks that we're working over here like it's part of the fucking storyline.
Just keep quiet. What kind of hostile shit?
Kalia, Rampage. And so
No, bro.
Go ahead, Stu. This is all good. Because he always thinks it's a work, dude.
Yo, he's already hot, bro.
You already think it's a work.
Oh, on the left side.
So, now,
like, seriously.
No. That's for me.
We're trying to solve something right now. We don't want no heat. We want no problem.
No, I'm cool. I'm cool now, but you know what I'm saying?
You know, we just want to make sure everything's okay. He knows he's trying to apologize.
you think it's part of the, you know.
We just don't want no problem. You know, we are apologizing. We're sorry for what
I appreciate that.
Let me draw my hand real quick. I get sweat, but
oh, you good.
Apologies get out of hand sometimes with working this stuff, pro wrestling stuff. So, he is very simple. So I understand where you're coming from. I'm a little hot right now, so let's go ahead.
You know what's the thing about this? Now I can make it something. Because I'm going to have you run in and fuck that motherfucker up in the mat. You ready for that?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Right. Talk to the president.
Yeah, if you can do that for me, I'll be cool. Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm gonna pause it. I'm gonna pause it right there. That dipshit right there. He said, "The good thing is now I can make it something." Okay, if you. Well, here's the thing. Forget that. If you're a good fucking booker and you don't want your guy fucked up in the ring, you protect that guy. You don't stay. Well, we're gonna make it out of something. You don't do that, man. You keep these guys as far fucking apart as you can for the rest of the night. That's the honest truth. That also leads me to believe that goes back to Johnny. I feel like there was more going on behind this than just what we see. I feel like they don't like this dude. Ricky Kennedy, give us your thoughts on that, man. What would you have done as a promoter after this happened?
Man, I'd have asked the Stu dude to go home. I'd have been like, "Hey, man, I think it's just time for you to get your stuff and go to the house. We got too much going on right now. Like,
you play too damn much."
And especially if it's a beer can and you're drinking beer at a show, that's even more unprofessional.
Well, that's another thing I was going to bring up. I'll be honest with you, Stu seemed like he wasn't drunk, but he seemed like he had a nice little beer buzz going on at the minimum. So let's
He was feeling
discuss
pretty
that.
good.
He had the happy birthday.
That's kind of way I feel too. I feel like he was. I feel like he was thinking. Maybe he was a little inebriated, and maybe he took it too far with the beer can. Which I know he took it too far with the beer can, but maybe the alcohol was a factor into that situation too.
Man, I actually think that them dudes hyped that kid up more than what it was. Them dudes hyped that kid up to do that. I think
They didn't want
to
to fight with that guy.
The kid would have let it lay. Maybe he had more resentment, but I think the kid would have let it lay for a little while and not they wouldn't have went to where it was without them other dudes gassing that kid up.
Well, it's all about the way that's wording everything. We're gonna send you in there to fuck him up, and then the cowboy reiterated.
Right.
I think the Stu dude really tried to build something without him knowing it because he knew he was Quinn's son.
Possibly, yeah.
If he wanted to get some kind of rub off of him.
Yeah, 100%.
Johnny
That's
Dodson.
probably the only reason he was there, honestly.
Johnny Dodson. If you the first time you ever walk in the back of this dressing room and Stu hit you in the head with a can, what would have been your reaction?
Johnny would have fell over and cried.
Look. The reason why Buster asked that question because he already know what the answer was going to be. I probably wouldn't have went as far as him, but then he's a big guy. I probably would have hit him in the head with something, though.
That's what I told them.
John,
we were talking a little bit before we went on air, and I told them, I said, if he'd hit me in the fucking head with that beer can and not knowing me, it would have never made it to the ring. It'd have never worried about that. We'd have finished it in the back, and it'd all been done by the time the show started. I can promise you that.
Yeah.
Johnny had to get him a hop, skip, and a jump to get it up there, but he delivered that 2-piece and a biscuit.
Hey, look. I would have showed everybody yet again that don't let the smooth taste fool you.
All right, guys, I'm going to unpause it, and we're going to get a little further into this.
Yeah, let's do that. Hell yeah.
I'm going to have them run in on your shit, in your match, to fucking seal that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, bro. Hey, it's going to all work out, dude.
Yeah, as long as I can do that. Yeah.
It's all going to work out.
All right, bet.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I got you.
What's your name again?
Raja.
What's that?
Raja.
Raja? Joe, man. Nice to meet you.
Okay, hey, set it up where who's going to come in and put them down.
I'm straight. No, you good, bro. You good. You straight. Yeah.
Right on, Los. Os, make sure he get it.
I apologize. I appreciate it.
I didn't know.
I get it.
We're not working out. Well, he's going to come out on your match, Os. I know you keep thinking we're working. We're always working.
I get it. Yeah. I get it now. Now you know
what I'm saying, Os? We're always working. So we'll set it up. Well, I'll have him come out during your match so we could fucking seal the whole thing and we'll make something out of it. You know what I'm saying? All right.
Well, now you just involved fucking Rampage himself because that's his boy.
All right. Now, here's my theory. I know the dude was streaming live himself, but other than that, this is supposed to take place in the back, only the boys. So the fans out there, unless they were watching dudes live, know nothing about this. So why are we making something out of something that the fans know nothing about unless we let them know?
Set up.
It makes no sense to me, man, whatsoever.
That's the thought I had earlier was how many of these fans that were sitting out there at the show knew what happened before the show.
Who's
how many of the fans actually knew who he was?
That's wrestling fans. Right. That's all they know who he was. Not unless they told them.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, who's doing the filming here?
That's what I want to know. Who's doing the filming?
Yeah,
I think it was.
Somebody had to be told to film all this.
The dude.
Yes.
Well, the dude.
The film guy is working for the Rampage.
Yep.
Okay, and if we go back a little bit, I don't want to do it because the volume's sketchy, but if you listen real close, I feel like one of the guys mentioned, hey, why are we filming this? It was almost like, hey, man, why are you filming this? Nobody needs to see this. And then once they figured out that the dude was live streaming it on Kick or whatever, then I feel like that's when the other dude thought, well, everybody in the audience must be seeing this too. When honestly, probably nobody in the audience had seen that because those people were there for pro wrestling.
That's why he hit him with the can, because the camera. Plus, he's being aggravated.
Who do you do that to? If I'm in a dressing room and a guy comes in and he's got a camera crew with him or someone filming him, and I don't know him and we ain't set nothing up, I'm not going to jump up and hit this dude with nothing. I'm not going to chop him. I'm not going to do nothing. I'm going to sit right there until he approaches me. If he approaches me, and then we'll go from there. But I'm not going to jump up and bust a beer can or whatever kind of can on somebody's head just because there's somebody there filming with him. Unless I've been told to do that. You know, and that's what I think. I think the cowboy hat dude asked Stu on. I think he was behind him. Maybe he even had once he figured out his buddy was going to come, I feel like maybe he told him, he said, look, man, when he gets here, he's going to have a camera guy with him. He's going to be filming. When he gets here, if you get an opportunity, bust that beer over his head. I want to know, is that part of Stu's gimmick? Is Syko Stu, is busting people in the head with a can part of his gimmick?
Syko Stu goes out there dressed up like a soldier boy. He wears the digital camo OCPs. But I know he's a vet. He presents himself as a vet, but he's Syko Stu.
But that gimmick,
right, I've seen all the stuff about the PTSD and stuff, and I've seen a lot of that on
man,
it.
if you got PTSD, all this stuff, like you said, he don't need to be in a wrestling ring anyway. Yeah. He might get hit in the head too many times.
You know,
right. And
weren't they on Raja's kick stream?
Yes, that's what I was saying a minute ago.
Anymore. I see Rampages, but I can't find Raja's anymore.
They probably took him off after this.
No,
I'm assuming
they took his off. I think he was completely banned from Kick.
Rampage said that in another video. Yeah. See, Rampage was live streaming at the same time, but he was over at a club. About the time the boy got hit in the head with a beer can, they start and his daddy's thing. His daddy wound up calling between the beer can and the incident in the ring. Dude sitting ringside. Rampage asked him, you know, are you all right, whatever, but his daddy was kind of ribbing him a little bit, talking about did he get jumped by some men in tights. His daddy knew he was at a pro wrestling show. He didn't let on until he told him where he was at, that he knew what he was doing. But his daddy was kind of just ribbing him a little bit. But his daddy had no idea he'd been hit in the head with anything. You know.
Dude, these chats.
Yeah, his daddy had no idea. There's a video that covers every bit of it. This may be the video.
Yeah, because his dad felt like he shouldn't even been in the ring and get hit at all because he had just got kicked in the head.
His daddy said that. He shouldn't have been in there. He shouldn't have been nowhere near that place.
The instigator's right there in the middle of the screen. Right
there, the cowboy.
Right there. Let me ask you guys this.
Whip invitation.
Do you guys feel like, me personally, and Rampage has dabbled in pro wrestling, so he's smart to what it's about. I don't feel like this kid is mentally, I don't feel like he's mentally capable of the pro wrestling thing. You know, a lot of real fighters, they have a hard time realizing that, hey, adjusted. That's why Kurt Angle's probably the greatest, the greatest collegiate wrestler to ever transcend into pro wrestling, transfer into pro wrestling, because he got it mentally. I don't feel like this guy. I don't know if he's just still too young, because I don't know how old he is, but I can tell he's immature. You can tell that.
Because everybody talk about Kurt Angle as far as the amateur wrestling background. I'm gonna tell you somebody to me that was one of the top guys to transcend from the MMA world to the professional wrestling world. I know a lot of people say Dan Severn, but I got to give it to Ken Shamrock. I think Ken Shamrock did a phenomenal job in WWE.
I do too, but I think Kurt Angle is the guy, man. Kurt Angle got it mentally. I don't think Ken Shamrock he understood it was a work. He knew how to work, But Kurt Angle got it. He had it, man. He had it from the get-go.
Shamrock wrestled before he went to UFC, before that whole thing got started.
Right.
He was actually a pro wrestler before.
So this, and I gotta go, but let me say this, and then I gotta get out of here. Watch this. When you're dealing with a young man like Raja, number one, he already has something to prove, right? It's gonna be he already walks around probably with a chip on his shoulder because he's living in the shadow of his father. You know what I mean? Let's be honest. In most cases, just like Bronny James would never live up to the expectations or the level of LeBron. So it's going to be difficult for Raja to live up to the same thing when it comes to quitting. So that's why in his mind, he probably always have to try to prove himself. Not only prove himself, but also search for validation.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%, man.
And so by him doing that, that also gave him some sense of validation because it was approved by the people that was there, and it made him feel like that he was a tough guy, and all that plays a major role. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Yep.
Raja Savage said he's 25 years old. And look, I'm going to speak from experience. I still a fucking idiot at 25. I'm going to be honest with you. I still a fucking moron. I mean, I was easily hyped up like he is. I told y'all from the get-go, you don't know how many dudes I've roughed up in the wrestling ring because my brother's my manager, and when I get out of the ring, he's hyping me up. And in my mind, I'm starting to believe this shit. I'm starting to believe this shit. He's telling me, go kick his ass. Don't let him do you that way. And this is my brother, and I'm believing this shit. So I go in the ring and start being rougher than I should. And then reality hits, man. So I know damn well at 25, he is still easily manipulated like that and highly immature because I know I was. Johnny's gone, guys. Go ahead.
Let me say this real quick. I do understand all of it. I get it from all the video, from everything. But at the end of the day, when you sit there and just strictly say, I'm going to swing on him until somebody stops me, you know what you're doing.
Yep.
Because
I agree with that 100%.
And the dude in the cowboy hat right there, he's as responsible for it as the dude that was that was throwing the fist.
Absolutely, he is. Because all he did was hype him up the whole time.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's terrible. But I mean, this is what you get when your show is just run off the cuff. And you don't give a shit, and you let people come behind there and stream because they're half-ass celebrities. He's not a full celebrity. I didn't even know this kid existed until this incident.
Right. I forgot about Rampage Jackson until this.
Jackson fan. And I had no idea he even had a kid like this. Until this incident.
Me neither, and I'm a huge Rampage fan. I had no idea either. You know?
So,
all right, guys, I'm going to play some more. Go ahead, Storm, and then we're going to play some more of this footage. All right, we're going to play some more of this.
No, he can handle it.
Yeah, I can handle myself. Yeah, I can handle myself.
That thing's going to come whoop your ass.
You don't need his dad. He handle his own shit.
Yeah, I got my own shit.
His dad.
Give me around, those.
Boom. Oh, still reference. Boom, 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 boom. Y'all want to go chill out over there?
Yeah.
Car, right?
It's like the helping you the opposite of the Justice League. Fucking brand new, like fresh brand new. I
Tag. What he thought was he was a pro.
I understand.
Yeah. Another thing is, even when we are working like that, you don't fucking, you know.
That's what I'm saying.
But he doesn't know him like that.
He don't. He's a fucking idiot. So when you run in on his shit, you fucking give him his receipt. You remember what a receipt is? Give him that fucking receipt. Don't tag his shit. If you got a fucking problem with it, I'll fucking run out there. Tag his shit, bro.
I'll get it that. Hey, as long as I get my lick back, I'm straight. I'm straight. Where's Rikishi?
All right, guys, that's pretty much where the footage ends because it starts as the further they get into place, there's music playing. So I didn't want to fool with it. Let me get us back on screen where everybody can see us a little better. Right. I started not to even play the footage because everybody's seen it so many times. But I feel like it would give us some talking points, man. And here's the thing. I think we can all agree Cowboy Hat Boy is the dude. He is the guy who he's the mastermind, I think, behind this whole situation.
Yep.
As Storm takes his cowboy hat off.
Just so people are not confused. How this chat room would get, so.
I think there's about 3 or 4 of them that's going to be hung up with him.
I think so, too. Well, and rightfully so.
That's
I mean,
right.
I guess there's this is bullshit all the way across the board, man. It's so sketchy. It's sad when you really don't know what to believe and you yourself start coming up with conspiracy theories because of how people carry themselves out here.
We can only go by what we hear.
That's it. Right. I mean, and it looks like a fucking setup.
I would love to see. I'd love to see 30 minutes before that, and even 30 or 40 minutes after that to really get it into context. Because, I mean, it's fishy, guys. I mean, from my perspective, it's fishy. And first of all, if the promoter, here's the thing. If I'm a promoter and my guys have issues, I don't really want them settling it out in the ring because they're going to fuck up all my angles, all my storylines, everything I've got going. They're going to fuck it up. I'm from the Bill Watts school of wrestling on that end. Go outside, back in the dressing room, go outside. You guys duke it out until y'all are happy. Bring your ass back in and then let's get to business. Let's go to work.
And whoever loses the fight, get gone because I don't need you.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, go out there and fuck his shit up. That right there, that one statement right there could save Rajah Jackson when it comes to trial. And it's going to trial.
He's going to do some time over this. He's going to get a little bit of time over this.
Yeah, here's the thing. It was so much overkill that I agree with Ricky 100%. I don't know that he'll end. It depends on how much trouble he's been in before. Now, if he's got a record, I feel like, yes, he's definitely going to do some time. But if he's got a clean record overall, no kind of violence with the money Rampage has got, I feel like this kid will probably do some house arrest and get a big fine. You know?
It also depends on how bad this guy's hurt.
And that's the thing too, man. I seen where his brother put out a statement that said that he was conscious now, but he had his face was broke up real bad, and his jaws and his teeth were apparently just smashed, man.
Well, he was choking on his teeth.
Right, I read that too.
On blood and teeth. I mean, imagine that.
Yeah, that's crazy. Cordell said, if we got to settle an issue, let's settle it between us, not get someone to come in and do what was done. So that's an issue. Do we feel like Cowboy Hat Guy orchestrated this to get Stu fucked up on purpose from the get-go?
Looks like it because he said he's an effing idiot. Like, he literally said it.
They probably saw an opportunity and took it.
Yep.
So my question...
Well, I got a buddy who's an MMA fighter. And what if we bring him in and kind of work it into an angle and something happens? I'm just saying.
It's not too far-fetched of an idea.
Well, here's my issue, guys. If I've got an issue that bad with any one of you guys, I'm going to come to you. We're either going to agree to go outside and duke it out, or we're going to settle it. We're going to talk it out and settle it. I'm not going to bring someone else in to kick your ass. It's just as simple as that. That's the part that really gets me, and that's the part that makes me think if it comes out that the Cowboy Hat dude orchestrated this, I think he's the one that you better watch out might end up doing some time. Sounds far-fetched, but I mean, you know, you got that power. If he was, say he's the shot caller or the booker, and it's his show because Rikishi's gone, he's the one in power there. He's putting all these chess pieces on the board and positioning them where he wants them at. And there's got to look. Charles Manson spent his whole life in prison because some other people went and did some shit he told them to do. I mean, not that bad, but we're in the same situation. Attempted murder.
Well, AJ's on camera saying it. I mean, it's right there for the judge, the jury, and everybody else to see.
Yeah.
They'll offer them boys some pleas.
Oh, there's going to be a lot of bargaining.
Hey,
please don't mandatories, and it was heat of the moment. There's going to be so much bullshit going around about this because people now be scared. You know, these big tough guys are shitting on themselves at this point because it done went worldwide.
Yep.
Yeah.
Guys, I've got some footage of the fight. Let's watch it and let's see how it actually went down, and then we'll discuss it. Well, hold on, guys. All right, guys. When this dude got slammed, he was immediately out. I think everybody in the audience could see that. I don't see how this kid couldn't see that. And let me ask you guys this. We're all trained to protect ourselves. When this kid picked you up, I could tell immediately by the velocity, the way he leaned him back before he went to slam him, that you needed to protect your head. I'm wondering why Stu didn't at least try to get his hands back there to protect his head a little bit.
He probably thought he could.
There had to be something to tell him when to go.
Let's rewind it.
Yeah.
Right now, I'd be.
They tapped him and told him when to go.
All right, guys, I silenced it because of the music. But it should pick back up into the ring. Damn, did it miss the part where this dude got him off of him?
No,
Look,
let me rewind just a second and see, because that's what I want to.
Look, Mark, there's another video from the same camera. He got up and went and asked when he was going to hit the ring. And the guy with the headpiece with the earpiece in said, I'm going to come sit behind you. We're next match, and I'm going to tap you on your shoulder when it's time to go.
I got you. And so that makes me think that they told him to pick him up. And so that makes sense of him not protecting his head, Buster.
They told him he was supposed to pull his legs.
No, I did.
So that was the spot.
Yeah, somebody called him and told him after it was all over, after it all come to blows, he was supposed to hook his legs and take him down or something like that.
See, I seen something where the slam was all supposed to be part of it.
Right. And it makes sense because, like you said, he's
but
not
still yet.
He's going to give it to him, you know.
Yeah, but still yet, when a guy picks you up, and if you watch it, the way he leaned him back, you could tell. I would have been able to tell that this dude's fixing to slam the shit out of me. And I'm wondering why Stu didn't try.
Yeah, he's untrained anyway, so you should have been ready to protect your head and tuck the old chin.
He might have thought dude was just going to turn around and give him the old Dr. Death slam, you know. He didn't know. I mean, like, that wasn't really an Alabama slam. He picked him up funny. I mean, that wasn't a pro wrestling hold that he had him in. That was a, I'm about to kill your ass is what's about to happen. You know, so that fella may not have realized, you know, he probably didn't know. You saw, like we all saw, they shook hands and made up in the back, you know, he apologized. Said, man, I'm sorry. I thought you was a wrestler. I didn't know. You know, he apologized to him for the can deal. He didn't know what was coming.
Yeah, he's giving his body up to this kid.
He didn't know what was coming.
Look, Cody, Garth Mahoney, he makes a good point. He said because he was under the influence. Stu.
Who's
Because
under
he was under the influence. Stu.
The beer can. He could have been. He could have been drunk. That could have been a very valid statement there.
I mean, really, that's a hell of a point, man. I kind of agree with that. That
But
would
it looked
make
like
you.
he was working fine.
Yeah.
I mean, he looked like he was working fine.
It wasn't the greatest looking spear.
No, but you know, it don't take you to be sober to get a bad spear.
Yeah.
Look, Justin Klein's on here, and I'm not going to put it up because it's so long it'll block most of y'all out. But he said, dude was a fucking idiot. Bottom line, he's 25 years old, not a kid. Unless he's legitimately retarded. Damn, Klein. I ain't even supposed to say that. You got me saying shit I ain't going to say. I ain't supposed to say. You'll have us canceled, man. Unless he's legitimately retarded, it doesn't matter who told him what. You are responsible for your actions, and I think we can all agree with that 100%.
I agree.
I do.
But
His
when you
own
hype a
statement
kid
said
up
it.
like that, that's ready to fight.
He got something wrong with him.
I mean, I don't understand why this is even an argument, really.
I ain't arguing with none of you. I think everybody's on the same page.
He knew what the fuck he was doing. There's not even a question. He was hyped up by those other fucking idiots to do this to this guy, and he chose to do it until somebody got him off. And that's what he said he was going to do.
But you got to think like it too. If you can't,
on it, it doesn't change the fact his own admission and everything we've seen on all the videos says all of that.
Yeah.
Look, Matthew Wade's in here, and I'm not going to put it up either because it'll block y'all out. He says, hey, he said he was supposed to shoot a double leg on him, but he picked him up in one. Stu had a few beers, probably didn't even think to protect his head. And you know, I mean, that goes with Cody's idea about it. I can see that, man. I can see that 100%. The reason I don't wrestle drunk, I've tried it a few times, or at least drinking, makes me lethargic. It makes everything I do 10 times harder. I can smoke a joint and wrestle all day long. Look, back in my day, I was a crackhead at one time, so I can smoke crack and go wrestle, and it not affect me. Alcohol, man, I cannot drink and wrestle. It's just I just can't do it.
Nobody should do it.
I agree with that 100%. Klein's back, and he said, but the beer can was clearly a prop. Were they filming something? Why were the cameras running in the parking lot? And we discussed that earlier because dude was filming for Kick. Roger Jackson was filming all this for his Kick stream.
Yep. Which who allowed that? Who said, yeah, man, you can go ahead and record everything backstage. You can put this all out over the streaming service so everybody can see what happens backstage. That's cool. Who allowed that?
Right. I agree with Alan 100% on that.
Cowboy, yeah.
Like that's mistake number one.
It all starts with management. There's no.
They saw the cameras. They ain't idiots. He probably streams everywhere he goes. He probably makes money off of it. People like donating and stuff. So I mean, that AJ guy, he ain't an idiot.
I'm not gonna let you bring a camera in my dressing room and show what's going on unless I want it there, though.
No.
You know what I mean?
What can they say if the promoter let him in?
I don't.
Welcome to the area of WWE Unreal.
Yeah, but I think that goes back to Rikishi not being there. From what I understand, Rikishi's the promoter. That goes back to him not being there.
The guy in charge let him in. Cowboy.
All I say, I'd hate to be Rikishi's right-hand man right about now.
Oh, my God, I swear.
Man, you figured Rikishi would have done a press conference by now and gave a statement on it somewhere or another.
He put a post on Twitter, I think, or he released a written statement on Facebook or some kind of social media.
Yeah, I seen where Knox Pro put out some sort of statement too. I didn't get a chance to read it, but I seen where they put out a statement, and
he called it a selfish act. Talking about Raja.
And it cost everybody though. I mean, this company was a WWE ID company. I don't even understand why some of the shit that seemed to be going on in the back was even happening. Here's the thing. I'm all for guys having fun. I have no problem with that. But we're a WWE ID company. That's a big deal for us. On Showtime, get to work. do your job, and after the show's over, go do whatever the hell you want. If you want to go smoke crack, go to the strip bar. I don't care what you do. Just show up and let's do the job first, and then that's your own time. It ain't none of my business what you really do. Just don't do something that's going to affect my company and the money that my company's receiving from this WWE ID deal. Look, Matthew Wade's back, and he said they used Raja as their patsy because they was too scared to fight him themselves. The plan to use him, they plan to use him as a scapegoat, and I feel like that's the truth too.
What about this? What about these quotes right here? It didn't even hurt. It's always been my dream to fuck up a pro wrestler. You're about to see a fake crash out.
I hadn't seen that.
His quotes live on stream.
Well, he said all that when he was sitting right there at ringside.
Absolutely.
There's camera footage of him saying that.
Yes. Yes, there is.
Justin Klein come back and he said Cowboy Hat was an idiot, blackball him or whatever. But the buck stops with Roger, and I agree with that. Like I said, Roger at 25, he's old enough to know what he was doing, and he's a trained. That takes us back to the start. He is trained in this. Look, man, you know when a guy is out. You know when there's no reason to hit him no more. Yep. And that's what gets me. After he was already out, and I can see maybe him not realizing he was knocked out in that first punch, maybe a second one, maybe a third one. But after that third one, I don't think anybody anywhere had a question that this dude was completely out. He was a dish rag.
Well, see, that's whenever I'm looking at the ref, and I'm saying your job, the referee's job, is to protect the boys. One of the referee's main jobs is to protect the boys, whether that's from people inside the ring or it's people outside the ring. Referees are supposed to protect the boys. That referee did not protect Stu whatsoever. After the slam, if I'm in the ring after the slam, I'm looking at Stu's face and looking at his eyes, seeing what they're looking like. All right, his arms are down. He's not bringing them there. He's not bringing them up to protect himself. 1, 2 with the shots. He's not moving. He's not budging. I need to get dude off of him because he's out of it. He doesn't know where he's at.
A UFC referee would have put himself in between Stu and Raja. He would have got right in between them and stopped he would have pushed Raja off and stopped the action immediately because there was no question he was out. Klein's back. He said, well, hold on. Cody's back. And he says, he said those words trying to cover his own ass, talking about Raja, I guess. Or maybe he's talking about Rikishi. Who are you talking about, Cody? Klein came back and he said, gimmick bag or whatever it was. Like, come on, dude. A UFC referee would have immediately, or any mixed martial arts referee would have immediately put himself in between those two guys. How many times we seen fucking Herb Dean plumb use his body to stop the action?
Yep,
when he realizes somebody's out and the opponent either's not stopping or they don't realize, they throw their bodies in between. Cody's talking about Raja.
So here's something I want to ask y'all. What if this was that referee's first match ever in a wrestling show? He's had maybe 3 trainings or something like that. They needed a referee and just slung him in that match and didn't tell him nothing. They told him, hey, kid's going to hit the ring, do a double leg takedown, let it go. When you see the cover, 1, 2, 3. What if he was told that? You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
We don't know what that situation is either.
And two, Ricky, I saw a video earlier where the referee had an earpiece in because he's fidgeting with the earpiece after all that takes place. So, like, there's somebody in the back talking to him.
What if Cowboy's on the radio telling him, hey, let it go, let it go.
Stay back. And that goes back to the Cowboy dude. Like,
if that comes out, Cowboy dude definitely gonna have to answer for that. If something like that comes out, definitely gonna have to answer for that. And here's my thought on the referee. Even in pro wrestling, a referee's first job is to protect the competitors. Even in pro wrestling, that's his main job. And I don't think it takes a smart pro wrestling referee to see somebody's knocked out and to realize, oh shit, I need to do something because this shit here is out of hand.
Yeah.
Now, when you add the earpiece, and like Alan said, suppose somebody is telling him, hey, let it go, then that adds a whole nother layer to this whole situation, y'all.
Yeah,
So let me ask
and
you
you
guys a
can
question.
you can ask Bullwhip. You can probably ask Storm too, maybe Ricky. But there's probably times that I've reffed their matches, and they've probably gotten upset with me about how many times I've come to them. Are y'all good? Are y'all good? Like, just get away from me. Back up. Leave me alone. I'm good.
No,
You know.
that's your job.
But that's how I ref. Like, I'm gonna check on you and make sure that you're good. After if I see something that looks a little wonky, like you're the first person I'm coming to make sure that you're all right.
All right, so let me ask you this. Afterwards, they're separating the guy. They're all in there. They're doing that. And then one of the guys in the tag match crawls over there and pins the guy that just got knocked the fuck out and is laying there bleeding. And the referee comes in and they count the pinfall. Amid all the chaos, all right? So the big guy's already got Raja backed up to the corner. This is all on video. And now y'all saw how long this took.
Mm-hmm.
He's got him back. He's over there. Stu is still laid out in the ring. Then all of a sudden, the other guy that was in the match, it looks like a Asian moondog, goes over there and crawls on top of him, and the referee comes in 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm. And he throws the X up. He throws the X up. Dude lays on him, goes for the cover, and then the referee makes the pin, and then he throws the X up again.
Let me ask you this, and this goes to being able to ad-lib in the wrestling ring. I feel like the guy who went for the pin and the referee who counted it, fucking morons. First of all, nobody's even paying attention to Stu or that fucking pin. Everybody's still focused over here on Raja. So these motherfuckers are idiots from the get-go. There's no doubt in my mind about that. They're fucking idiots. And somebody should have jumped in and covered Stu up. You know, the referee should have put his body, look, Matthew said it. Let me go back a couple of, goddamn, let me find it. A real wrestling referee would have separated them. They don't make smart pro wrestling referees in 2025. They're too busy thinking about their grocery list and not breaking the nails. And here's where I disagree with Matthew on that. You know what the problems with referees nowadays are? Truthfully, they think they're part of the show. Unless they have certain spots to do, you're just a referee. Do your fucking job straight down the middle. Unless I've told you, hey, you got a bump or you're going to be involved in this spot. Quit worrying about being the... Have you seen these fucking referees that when guys take bumps, they jump fucking 10 feet in the air? Why are you doing that? You're drawing attention from the guys that everybody should be focused on.
Because they've seen it on AEW.
It just don't make no sense to me, man. It just does not make any sense.
Have y'all seen the referees that wear do-rags and like sweatbands on their arms and what
dude.
Like
it's over the top, man. And nobody in the old days, somebody would have set these motherfuckers down and said, hey, be a fucking referee, straight down the middle.
Out into security, for God's sakes.
Well, they can't do that because they don't have that referee. They don't have a show.
Yep. We have some of the... Well, goddamn, I don't know what's going on there, y'all.
Hey, Chad playing tic-tac-toe.
Okay, who am I missing?
Full version of the break.
You're missing Bullwhip.
Bullwhip. He must have went out because he's not even in the stage. Bullwhip, get your ass back on for a minute. We're fixing to wrap this thing up.
He in the back legs.
Hey, but go back to referees, Buster, just before we leave for a minute. We had a situation over the weekend. You and I talked about it off air. But one thing that was brought up to me about referees is they want to make more money than the guys now. So that's a problem, too.
Well, now, I've seen some referees that deserve every dime they get. Man, I've seen some referees that deserve to be paid more than some of the boys. There ain't no doubt in my mind about that. But nowadays, they're few and far between. It's just as simple as that. I don't know if Bullwhip's going to get back on, and we're finna wrap it up. So we're going to wrap it up with this, guys. I'm just going to start with Mark, and we're going to work our way down to Ricky. Hopefully Bullwhip will jump back in. We've seen it. Everybody's seen it. We've all discussed it. It's the hottest thing in wrestling, and really it's probably the biggest thing going on in media right now, period. We've seen what happened. We all have our opinions and our takes on it. What do you guys think the consequences should be for Raja and whoever else? Mark, let's just stick it on Raja right now, because we don't know what's going to come out, what ain't, about Cowboy Hat Dude or anybody else. Just on Raja's part, because like Klein said, he's a grown man. You know, you can tell him stuff to do, but he should have sense enough to know what to do and what not to do, especially when it comes to hurting somebody the way he did. Mark, what do you think should go on here? What do you think the consequences should be for this thing?
Well, before I get into that, I think there's going to be more that comes out of this story, because there's a lot that's not being covered. But I think definitely he's going to get a big-ass fine. He's going to get an assault charge and probation probably out of it. He might do a little bit of jail time because, you know, he went way overboard. But other than that, that's probably what's going to happen. And it's a shame, but I figure that's what's going to happen. Unless, like you said, he's been into a lot of trouble, which I don't know the kid's background. But he is 25, and he knew what he was doing. So
before I move on to Storm, what would you do, Mark? If you were the judge, how would you handle this situation?
Oh, I'm probably going to give him a little jail time for sure.
Storm?
Oh, yeah, agreed. And there'll be anger management classes, but what will probably happen, knowing our judicial system,
and it's in California, Storm, so there you go.
He will get probation. He won't serve a day in jail, other than when they pick him up and process him. They'll do that. He'll bond out. He'll be back. He'll go and he'll give him they'll do all this stuff. He'll plead down. He'll get probation, and he won't serve any more time in jail. We'll see him on maybe 3-4 years probation, maybe 5 if he's lucky. But that's all he'll get out of it. But I think he should get more because of he knew what he was doing, and in his own words, he said what he was going to do, which makes it premeditated. Now, right now, they're calling it 2 felonies, and to me, that's you're going in there to willingly hurt somebody who doesn't know you're trying to fight them. And I don't care.
Yeah, guy's defensive.
He knew what he was about to do.
Yeah, he could protect himself.
Yeah. So whatever else happened with AJ and anybody else, and we know how we feel about that. And that's another thing we talk about. But he knew what he was going to do. He decided what he was going to do. No one made him do it. All he talked about, as long as I can get mine back. As long as I can get mine back. I've always wanted to do this. I can't wait to go in here. Somebody's going to pull me off of him. I'm going to keep it.
Let me ask you something, Storm. You made a good point. He went in there and beat up a guy who didn't even realize he was in a fight until he woke up in the hospital. I mean, so, you know, where do you get the satisfaction out of that, man, is what I'm wondering from Raja himself.
Fragile egos is what it is. It's a fragile ego in this streaming fucking world we have now, to where all of your clout comes online from strangers who don't give one damn about you. And then all these young guys let it go to their head. And it's not even just young guys. That's the older people let it go to their head too. Like, I have to have likes. And these people are saying, I'm soft. If I don't do so-and-so, I better go do it. How much dumb shit have we seen on TikTok, Instagram, and everything, people doing just because somebody dared them and said they wouldn't know they're a pussy?
Right.
It happens every damn day.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. It's out of hand on that situation. Alan, what do you think the consequences should be for Raja, and what would you do if you were the judge, man?
Well, let me ask y'all this. You remember a couple years ago at the Hall of Fame ceremony when Bret Hart was there and he got jumped by that fan, and the boys came in and pulled him off and got him out of the arena quick.
Right.
But it wasn't before they got their licks in and tore him up. Do you guys remember what he was prosecuted for afterwards? Which that was a WWE event, so that was bigger. I want to say it was in New York. But I mean, I think they may have got him for trespassing or something. but they're definitely going to get him with assault, and then they've got him in his own words saying what he's going to do, and he fulfilled what he said he was going to do, and then went overboard with it. So I don't know, probation, at least probation, but with it being in California, like it was mentioned, and with them being how they are out there, you never know. He could get off scot-free and just be told to never go back and never show his face there again.
His ass to get an Academy Award out there, fuckers.
Yeah. So, I mean, I really don't know. I know what I would like to see, but I also, live with the understanding that it's California and it's just a slap on the wrist and, hey, you're not allowed to go back there. But then, too, is Knox Pro even going to be able to run anymore?
Oh yeah, I think they'll still run. Yeah, I think that unless California or if there's an athletic commission out there, unless they shut them down, yeah, I think they're gonna weather this bad press. And I think, depending on what comes out about this case, I'll be honest with you, and what else we find out, but I just feel like they're going to let it blow over. We know the WWE is the best at taking bad publicity, kind of hiding it and letting it blow over, and then going right back to what they were doing. And so I feel like even Knox Pro, I feel like they'll get their ID deal back in 6 months or a year, to be honest with you. And here's something else too, Alan. I don't even think we can compare the deal with Bret Hart to what happened to Stu. Two different levels.
No,
that dude with Bret Hart, they shouldn't have even arrested him. They should have let the boys beat the shit out of him and throw him out the back door and told him never bring his ass back, because that's a whole different level than what went on with this kid here.
Right, and that was just the thought that I had in my head earlier today. I thought about that incident, but that was not. This guy was told to get in the ring and do this, and the dude that jumped Brett was just a fan that wanted a few seconds of recognition and got his brains beat in for it by FTR. So,
right.
Kudos to him, I guess. But yeah, Raja, I don't know how this is going to go down.
Now, Buster, let me ask you this: you think they're going to be able to run the same town in the same building? I just don't see it.
Man, let me be honest with you. I've seen some crazy shit happen in wrestling. Not to that level, but look, somebody got hurt here, but think about all the extracurricular trouble wrestlers tend to get into in towns, backstage, at the restaurant later that night in towns, and these companies continue to run. Even in our independent level around here, I've seen so many wrestling companies get away with so much stuff that I don't really figure it's going to affect that town or anything, unless the fans themselves decide, fuck that, I'm not going back, I don't want to go, and they cut them off. The fans are still going to buy tickets because
that happening. No.
Yeah, but I heard some screaming out there that sounded like, I'll never be back to a damn show ever again in my life.
There's going to be a lot of them. I don't know what
that screaming was like.
Ricky Kennedy, what do you think the consequences should be? And if you were the judge, what would the consequences be, man?
Man, it'd be at least 2 years in jail, and then you'd be on probation, and the restitution of his doctor bills. You would pay every single dollar for his doctor bill. I don't care if it's $5 million, $2,000, $50, $60. You would be responsible for every doctor bill produced from that incident right there. And if you can't pay for the doctor bills in that right there, that's how much time you're going to do in jail, per 12 months for however many dollars or whatever. Strip him of his MMA license, strip him of any wrestling license if you got to have that in California. And he shouldn't be able to participate in any contact sports ever again in the state of California,
Let's talk about that for a second. That's a hell of a point, Ricky, because that's something we ain't touched up on. We've kept this in the pro wrestling world. But how is that going to affect his MMA career and aspirations? Because That's his bread and butter. He's not gonna make it as a pro wrestler. We can see that already. Right now, he's not got the mentality for it whatsoever. So let's before we get out of here, let's touch on that. How do you guys think it's going to affect him in his MMA career?
He shouldn't have one.
Oh, he'll have one. He'll serve his time just like Tyson did with the boxer shit. He'll come back. There's people already lining up ready to whoop his ass and wanting to fight with him. And there's a promoter out there somewhere that's going to jump all over it. Believe me. It might be like Ricky said. It might be 2 years down the road. But if he does go to jail for 2 years and come back, somebody's jumping all over it.
Somebody sees a payday out of this in the future,
exactly right.
and they will go after that.
You're in the MMA business and you're in professional wrestling business. Somebody sees a big payday.
I agree with that.
I guarantee you, they're already lining up.
Well, they're coming. That's
they wouldn't be surprised if old Daddy ain't negotiating deals.
So look, SSB 28's got a. She says people want promoters to be held accountable. Let's touch on that for just a second. What do we think the Rikishi's responsibility is for this?
I don't think he had any. He was out of town. But whoever he left in charge is on them. Now, like I said, it all starts in management because management let all this shit happen. People in the back, people filming. That's where it all starts at. Yeah, they need to be held accountable.
Yeah, but when they sue Knox Pro, they're suing Rikishi.
I get it.
Will be held responsible.
It's his company, one way or another. So, yeah, he's going to be held accountable.
That's where the money's at.
Yeah.
Mark, next time I stub my toe at your show, I'm suing.
Hey, you might lose more money that way. You got a bunch of look how many sponsors you got of me up there.
Right, man. I can't lose those sponsors, man. That's making the Dirty Dozens happen, dude.
And
so
you
look,
get paid weekly.
Man, great promoter, Mark. Great promoter, man. Maybe the best promoter I've ever worked for. And I've worked for a lot of fucking promoters, dude, through my years, man. Is there anything else you guys think we need to touch on before we cut this thing loose? I know it's almost 11 o'clock. I'm old. I should have been in bed at least 2 hours ago when this thing fucking started.
Ricky's got 3 hours of Call of Duty to play.
Hold on. Let me show y'all something.
Wow.
Hold on. Let me show y'all something else.
Don't you get up at like 4 in the morning?
There you go. There you go.
I like that.
I got a custom controller made.
Hey, I need one for this one right here, Ricky.
That's
you
cheap
need one
shit.
for your masturbation tool, Alan. Stop it.
So look, guys, SSB 28's back with one more question. She said, excuse me, but I don't, or he says, excuse me, I don't come from the pro wrestling world, but don't they practice stuff when a novice comes to the ring? And yeah, I mean, you'd figure they would walk this motherfucker through what's going to happen. I think that's what happened with Travis Scott, honestly. I think somebody told him to lay it in when he make sure he smacked Cody and lay it in, and I think he took it a little too far with that. You know what I mean? I don't really.
We found out Travis Scott don't know how to throw a damn punch. Is what we learned.
Yeah, but we should know that. Anybody from outside the wrestling world, especially MMA guys and boxers,
I mean, come on, stop it.
It's hard to pull punches sometimes, but I feel like on that end, I feel like maybe even Cody, because I've been known to do that. I've been known to tell people, look, man, when we're out there, lay it in. But, you know, when you're talking to another wrestler, lay it in means something totally different than when you're talking to somebody that has no idea what goes on in the business or how it's really done. Takes a whole different thing, man. Guys, are we done? Ricky, look, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I'm going to pull you down first, Ricky. Thank you for coming on, giving us your time, giving us your opinion on this situation. I appreciate you guys. You take it easy, Ricky. Alan, you're next, my man. Thank you so much for coming on, man. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you coming in here and giving us your input, man. Been a hell of a conversation. 2 hours flew by. Take it easy, my friend.
Yes, sir. Y'all too.
I'm giving all y'all that talk show, that game show host exit. Storm, goddamn, that was a quick turnaround, Storm. Didn't I just see your ass last night
Yeah, for 2 hours.
Didn't we do 2 hours last night, man?
Almost.
Storm, I
Hey, it
appreciate
was a good one, though. I listened to it today. Hey, before we get out of here, Bullwhip said thank you for having him. He had to go to bed, man. He said he got to get up early in the morning. So
Bullwhip, man. He know he ain't in bed. He's out.
Bullwhip, but we still here.
he's probably laying in the bed watching this shit.
You know,
you know, at night, Bullwhip puts them little brief tights he's got on
Sugar
and
whip.
runs around outside and shit. You know, ain't no telling what Bullwhip's doing.
Whip.
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
Right.
call him Sugar Whip. Got that kiss from Dylan's boyfriend.
That's what I ain't gonna say it. I'm not
He's
gonna say
dreaming
it.
of Dylan. He's dreaming of Dylan.
Yeah,
Storm, you have a good night, my friend, and tell Jennifer I'm so sorry I kept you up till 11, my dude.
Hey, it's all right, buddy. I appreciate it, guys. See y'all soon.
Take it
Good to
easy.
see you, Chad.
All right, Mark Manley, it's just me and you. You got anything else you need to say? You need to promote anything, Mark. What's going on? What's going on with the UWA and American Hostile?
Hey, UWA is doing awesome, man. Got a lot of fine promoters that came on board. Recently, we brought in TIWF and OCW. We're up to 8 promotions right now. We are putting together, hopefully about April maybe, a UWA Super Show. I know I talked to some of the guys today, and Dotson's working on getting us a building, man. So could you imagine 8 promotions are going to be working together and have one Super Show? And that's going to be awesome, man. And it's all the hard work of everybody really coming together and seeing that wrestling needs this, you know, especially right now. Look what's going on. But yeah, and then Hostile, we got a show coming up in Van Buren, Missouri in October 18th to be their very first professional wrestling show. So we're looking for something big there as well, man. And then we'll be back in Kennett, Missouri in November, and then back in Wardell in December for our annual Christmas show.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, the UWA, me and Storm talked about it last night, man. You've been hustling on this thing, man. This thing every time I turn around, every week, it seems like there's another company becoming part of the Unified Wrestling Alliance. And I'm going to shoot you straight 100%. It has surprised me that you've grown it this far, this fast, Mark.
Yeah. It just takes reaching out to people and say, look, man, this is good for the business. And, you know, I mean, there's some guys that didn't want to work together, but we kind of hashed all that out, man. And hopefully it's going to go well. There's one more promotion that I'm trying to get on board. I'm going to reach out to within the next couple of days. And I think we're going to reel them in too. So, man, look for our logo to change again there, Buster. We just keep adding to that poster, baby. We're going to run out of room.
Like I told Storm, how the fuck you expect me to learn all these fucking wrestlers from all these different companies, man?
I know, right?
God damn. Right. I'm having to do research now, man. Normally I kind of know everybody. Now I'm having to research, guys. You making more work for me, Mark. More work, man.
Hey, this has always been a dream of mine, though. Even when I lived back in Nashville, back in like from 06 to 2013 is when I lived in Nashville. And I was driving to Trenton working TIWF back then. And I wanted to call it the IWO for Independent Wrestling Organizations.
Right.
Bring us a bunch together. And I tried to run a show, but didn't go good back then. And when Johnny asked me to come on board and him stepping away with his new job, asked me to take this thing and run with it. And that's gave me a task, and I'm trying to nail it down, baby.
And timing's everything, Mark. You know that as
That's
well
right.
as I do. Especially, I mean, timing's everything in life, but in pro wrestling, that's a real statement. Timing is everything, and I think it's the right time, and I think you're the right dude, man.
I appreciate that, man. I'm giving it my all for sure.
Mark, man, I appreciate you coming on. You know that. Hell, this podcast wouldn't even happen if it wouldn't have been for your ass. He's the guy that said, man, we need to talk about this tonight. We need to do a podcast and get the guys on. And we did it, man. You suckered me into doing this from the get-go, and you still suckered me into shit, Mark.
Hey, I know a sucker when I see one.
There you go, man. There you go. I'm an all-day sucker for you, Mark. Mark, you take it easy, dude. Have a great night.
All right, man. I appreciate you, Buster.
All right, y'all. Hell of a show. I appreciate everybody who tuned in, everybody who interacted. If I didn't get to your comments, I'm sorry. There was a bunch of them. I was trying to get the ones that were more pertinent to the conversation, but I appreciate every one of you guys. You know I got to promote this Dirty Dozens one more time before we leave. Sunday, September the 14th at 8 p.m., the Dirty Dozens Pro Wrestling Roast Battles. You guys need to tune into this. I need all you guys to tune in. If there's ever been one show I needed every single person to tune into, this is it. It's important. It's a big deal. If this thing goes off and it works, there's more to come. I can promise you that. It's only going to get bigger. I'm going to promote this Dirty Dozens, and I'm going to let you guys out of here.
You already know who it is. We be bustin'. It's Big Bustin', baby. And I got some Dirty Dozens for y'all. We be bustin'. Wrestling roast battle. Y'all ain't ready for this. Y'all ain't ready. We be bustin'. Here we go. Who be bustin'? We be bustin' like Blassie, like William Perry. We hustlin'. Big in these streets like Big Buster. You a sucker like Lou Brother. Who trusted? We be bustin'. Lick off shots. Shouldn't get clocked. Knick knack, patty whack. Give a dog a bone. Dirty Dozens with my bros. Step into the zone. Wrestling roast battle. Leave that alone. We be bustin'. We be bustin'. We be bustin'. We be bustin'. We be bustin'.
All right, y'all. Sunday night, September 14th, 8 p.m. Be sure you tune in. And we'll be back this Sunday night, 7 p.m. like normal. I got Austin Mulitalo going to be facing off against Jet Hero. These two guys are having a big match at PKAW on September 5th, Friday night in Brownsville, Tennessee. PKAW is one of our UWA affiliates. I've got these two guys coming on, and you never know what's going to happen. They're going to be face to face, so you never know what's going to go down with these guys, but be sure to tune in and check it out. I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in tonight. I appreciate it so much, and until Sunday, y'all take it easy.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're with my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you are behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.